Hey guys, me again.
All right.
It's weird that you're all over there, and I'm not going to make you come over here, but I am going to judge all of you. I'll need a good look at everybody so I know who to... Yeah, this is leaving. Alright, I'm going to direct all my thumbs at you people. I'm sorry. He's probably a nice guy. Who knows? Maybe not. Alright, this poem is... My name is Tony Godino, and this poem is called The Tendency to Slip. He said I'm going to lick the bag because I'm Pennsylvania trash. Then he rolled up a 20 and he asked me where I'd been. I told him and he listened. I've changed, I said. I showed him all my essays on aging with pages and pages of prosaic aching. Told him how I stayed up nights obsessing over style, conflict, pronouns, and pacing. Holding the broken oaths I've let go years ago. Trying on memory after memory, spinning in front of the mirror, wondering which form is less menacing. Maybe you can no longer quietly search for purpose. Not these days, but this isn't about the beast that works the page, he said, taking the 20 from me, is it? He dipped his finger into what was left on the hotel desk, rubbed it into his gums, put some on his cigarette, and said it's about the beast that approaches. As more of it glows, he pointed up, you lose more control. Some days I awake, I said, a naked animal in an open cage. Today was one of those days. She made it to the 8th phase unscathed, close, but never close enough. I stepped closer to her ghost. At noon, I held her in my arms and worried for her midnight throat. I must choose a form, I told him. I can't be both. I don't know. But I think a werewolf is a metaphor for addiction. It's waking up, thinking, God, what have I done? Covered in blood, hoping it's yours. That I know. Thanks a lot. This one is called There's No Such Thing as Free Fun. I stood in the doorway, half lost in the weeds, blowing in the wind outside the bathroom window that hung open over my landlord, who knelt over a drain, and when he stood and turned away from the shower and showed me the wad of wet hair coated in soap that wasn't mucus but looked to me more like mucus than soap, I said, that's the last of her. And counted the footsteps I'd have to mop up as he collected his snake and walked off through the kitchen toward the front door. I remember when we turned from friends to more, and the way she'd say my name had changed. It was like she'd attached herself to it. She'd call just to see what I was doing. Now she's hair covered in mucus. Now she's memories I leave at the door because there's work and more. Pain is a message that there's work to be done. And heartache opens the door inside so I can see what's wrong with me, but I think I just spent my 20s having too much fun. And since the other day when my older brother told me there's no such thing as free fun, I've been thinking I might be paying off a debt to everyone I've ever loved. Somebody just get electrocuted over there? What was that noise? You okay, Dev? You all right? All right. That was the end of the poem, so it's fine. If anybody down, thank you very much. This is a love poem. It's called Pervert At Large. I was at Pinky Masters in Savannah, Georgia, and I've had so many chances. Good women that could have been good enough, but someday anyway, I'll only remember what I took pictures of. So I often think of time and Tybee Island. I'll visit with the aged baby barely alive inside. We'll rewrite why we wound up in her backseat in a parking lot by the beach with us on our knees and her dress over our head. And after the bridge, the song playing kicked in as we went on, going back and forth, out and in, inside of her, listening to the ocean, thinking about action. And consequence? Yes. Shame they don't often take from the same gun rack, but always, old friend, they end at the same bloodbath. It's rarely fair, we agree, the way the past comes back. She came, and we wiped our face, we kissed her. She lit a cigarette and let the air in a bit. I hope heaven is one long night, she said. Liquored up with loved ones, you know? A group photo. Telling some stories and ignoring others. Remembering your chubby little rubber band wrist laying in mommy's arms, but forgetting a fist fight, we said, with your stepdad and kicking the window out onto the front lawn. Oh, she said, her fingertips on her chest. 3 years later, no more cigarettes, no more sex, on our way to pay our respects at the tail end of a routine tiff, holding his photo, coastal roads, windows open, I ask her, are you suggesting that I'm obsessed with all my dead friends? No, I think you're better than them. The fuck, we said? She said, you're not much, but you're made up of a desperate attempt to make sense of a mess. And the older you get, at least now you believe in something. You believe that you can see the wires that connect everything. You told me these coincidences. She smiled, her face in flux like bubbles coming up from a bathing suit and ruining the perfect surface of a still blue above ground swimming pool. I love you, Jackie. When you look at it from a plane, baby, don't it look so simple? Don't trees look like hair on a dog? And the stars, too, when they flash, they're just worried germs burning in a lens meant for inspection. Now, she said, her breath in sync with the slow waves, get on your back and I'll show you both. Thank you very much. This one is called Your Name Means Nothing in My Language. We spent our 20s throwing away relationships that would have been good enough for our grandparents, and we never had kids because there was always a plan B. Then we woke up 30 and realized we somehow still had time to start over, somehow still had songs to cry over, Uber home, and play the tracks too sad to put on the jukebox. They'd expose you. They'd bring her scent back. Jesus, man, you can't do that in public. People will notice. Young once, old forever. Young once, old forever. Young once, old forever. Young once, old forever. These goddamn tattooed artists and bartenders sure are guarded. Dark hair, dark hearts all around us. FYI, using neon in poems usually means dive bars now. I forgot where I am. It looks cool though, didn't it? Was that cool?
That's pretty cool.
Loud eyes, blues and greens. They can't be impressed by average men. They can't stand next to anything less than 5'10", penniless, but able to skate or based in the scene that created them. Young once, old forever. Young once, old forever. Young once, old forever. Young once, old forever. I couldn't keep the few things I had that could have lasted. Now I lack the tools to play it cool. I don't know, but I fear that I put in more than I took from the cloud that hangs over all of them. Lately, I've been craving the safety of a hugged mother, wary from decades wasted, chasing the freedom of a teenage summer. Like waking up in a foreign hospital, there aren't many times in life where you can be something that somebody has never seen before. In Korea, everybody's birthday is New Year's Day. Doesn't seem fair to me. Thanks. One more. I'm just going to drink from that bottle, so talk amongst yourselves. All right, this is my last poem. It's called If You Want to Bang Heads With Me. Yes. Hell yeah, this guy. You do want to bang heads with me, and I love that. If you want to bang heads with me. It happened like it always does. She tucked her sweater into the chain link fence, stepped forward toward me and said, "You ain't nothing I ever met, and this ain't nowhere I ever been," and she kissed me. We went back to my mother's house and fucked all winter. It took a good year to get past her censors. It was an adventure, but eventually the tension melted or cooled. I'm never sure which when I try to remember it, but it happened like it always does. I fucked it up. I waited with you and waited with you and I waited with you until the years put us back together. And then we moved from where I'm from to where you're from and tried our love in warmer, in better, in Western Novembers. There were a few new years in a row where we just sort of started letting it go. It happened like it always does. One moment we were weightless, taking off each other's clothes, and the next we were sharing a couch, car, cadence, and home, completely alone. And at most, once or twice a month in dreams, I see it all explode over and over. I see where I gave up on you. I see where you tried to get through to me, where you got over me, and it happened just like it always does. A fork in the road, a desperate need to see where each one goes, an itch that scabs, breaks, bleeds, stains clothes, leaving me with little more than time-worn tokens of things I'll somehow both hold close and never know, like which way was right, like if I'll ever find mine, if I can only see at night, only see under neon lights, under 3+ pints. I wake up some and worry rather, if only a younger thunder could strike that close to home, if you only get one, if you only get one chance church-wise, if at this age I should just land on anything even remotely Earth-like, if it will only happen like it always does, and if you haven't yet, you'll love again because that's what you're made of. Yesterday I was eating chicken with my hands when I just suddenly saw myself old with no children, jumping from girlfriend to girlfriend, and it happened like it always does. And I made it through another winter, and I miss her, and I miss her, and I drift off and I lose her in Center City in the mass of taxis, grease trucks and steam from the sewer. And in the morning, there's a wish that hurts, a need for someone somewhere inside, but it's nothing I ever met. It's nowhere I ever been, and it's February again, and it happens like it always does. Thank you very much.